Welcome to this edition of Backstage Pass with Leah Chang. I'm your host, Leah Chang. Today I'm at Theater Row with Howard Ho to talk about his new play with music that is part of Pan Asian Rep's NuWorks series. The performances are on June 17th and June 21st at 7 o'clock. Howard, welcome to the show. I thank you for inviting me into your rehearsal today.
Oh, it's our pleasure. What do you mean? Yeah, it's always a joy to have you around and know that you're capturing, us for posterity.
Capturing history.
Oh my God.
Tell me more about the show.
Yeah. So this is about a 30-minute show called Where I'm From by me, with music and words by me, and it's a sort of exploration of where I'm from, which is LA, specifically the San Gabriel Valley. If you know, it's a...
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. So I won't tell you. No, I will tell you. It's about, it's this Asian American enclave, really famous just because that's where so many Asians migrated when sort of immigration opened up, and it really became this hub of Asian American culture. And I just grew up in it, and I didn't know anything else. So I just assumed that the rest of the world was like this. Meanwhile, you hear a lot of stories about I was the only Asian kid in high school or whatever. It's like, nope, I was. We were like half. We were at least half the population, if not more. So to have that kind of weird thing of being kind of the majority in that town,
right?
And yet you listen to the radio, you watch the TV, or go to the movies. You don't see yourself anywhere, and you go like, I'm the majority here, but somehow it's not connecting to the media or the image of America that I'm being taught. So that disconnect is kind of what this piece is about,
right?
And how to resolve it.
So while you lived this, what inspired you to want to share your story with the world, and now specifically New York?
Vanity? No. I think.
But that doesn't fuel any of your other work.
That's true. I put myself as a character, as the main character of this, which is not something that I do. But
I know for a minute they thought that you were in the show too.
That's right, yeah. So the first line is the character comes out and says, "Hi, I'm Howard Ho." But it's not Howard Ho, it's James Seol, who's a brilliant actor and singer. So, but what I love about that is the freedom. I was inspired by David Henry Wong in Yellowface, and also Lauren Yee in King of the Yees, and so I'm sort of sitting on their shoulders going I can tell my story. And I just think it's a unique sort of blend of Asian American culture and also a period piece, because I'm taking it back to the 90s when I grew up, when we were figuring this out and we didn't know what Asian American culture really was at that point.
Right.
And to come to today, when you have everything everywhere all at once winning the Oscar, and you have BTS and all these bands that are putting Asian faces all over, and you go and
you're I can do this too.
I could do this too, and
Thank you very much.
I could show you that struggle that brought us there, because it wasn't always that easy, or it wasn't. Everyone has their own struggle, but to me that was culturally I wanted to put myself in the culture, and I think this is a piece all about that struggle to break through those barriers, because if you're invisible culturally, then people can do things to you.
A place where I felt culturally invisible for my entire life now had songs being written about it, and 626 became a coveted area code, and the 626 night market was becoming a cultural movement. TV shows were taking place in the SGV. Oh, and when LA got its first Chinese American museum, I volunteered there, where they had an exhibit all about how the SGV was dreamed up by developer Fred Shea in the 1970s as the Chinese Beverly Hills. My boring hometown, my nowhere hometown, had helped invent the new Asian American identity. But see, we can tell our own stories without it reverting to being a trauma play. A wave of pride washed over me, because Alhambra is where I learned everything about everything, where I became who I am, where I'm from.
My piece also talks about anti-Asian violence, and that's part of why there is that violence, is they don't see you as human. They don't have friends that look like you.
They consider you invisible.
You're invisible. And so, if we just like harm that person, no one's gonna care. And so I think we have to put our stories out there to get ourselves into, the conversation, when politicians or whoever talk about, we want to win over, the white vote and the black vote. It's like, we need to talk about the Asian vote, when Broadway theaters are trying to sell tickets to people, it's like, we want to sell to white audiences and black audiences. It's like, yeah, what about selling it to Asian audiences? Because we, maybe Happy Ending just won the Tony Award. Like, super happy for that show. It's a perfect show. But yeah, there needs to be more stories. There needs to be more
stories, more representation.
Yeah.
And you're taking part in that and making a difference. So everybody should come and see where I'm from. It is again.